Well, folks, thanks for coming out and supporting our candidate in the 3rd Congressional District. I will tell you that it's been a busy year. Today is a solemn day, and we will, lest we never forget about the meaning of September 11th. But from a political standpoint, we are, at the 8-week countdown today. I think that's 56 days, if I'm doing my math right. And we need to make the most out of each day. So, we're pleased with everything that is transpired to this date. And here we are in the 3rd Congressional District. I love getting a chance to come back to the 3rd Congressional District. I'll never forget the run and all the support from many of you in the room that I made 2 years ago. And I've said in a couple events with Wayne that I did my part to soften up the battlefield for Wayne Winsley. No doubt, here's a candidate who he presents conservative Republican principles in such an eloquent manner. He's a strong campaigner. He's everywhere. He works every day. Tell your friends and others that aren't here that this guy is a good horse, if I can use a political term. He works hard. He's worthy of your campaign contribution because he's carrying the flag so strongly here in the 3rd Congressional District. And before I introduce him, all I'm going to say is whenever I think of this candidate, I just think of the first 3 letters of his last name. And we are going to win with Winsley. Let me present to you the next Congressman from the 3rd Congressional District, Wayne Winsley.
Give him a lot of applause. Very loud round. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen of Stratford, thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming tonight. Thank you for your generosity. Stratford was one of those towns that is special to me because for as much as I didn't live here, I did a lot of work right here. Some of you may remember me as that guy, that reporter from WICC, sitting on the side of the room at the town council meetings, getting the quotes, covering. I sat through some budget battles and some referendum battles and some good times and some hard times. And so I have a relationship with Stratford. And so it was especially heartfelt to have Stratford roll out such early support and wholehearted support in the run-up to the convention. So I just want to thank you very much for that. Now, for as much as this is a fundraising event for my campaign, today is not about me. Today is about America and who we are as a nation and as a people. While I didn't lose anyone personally on 9/11, like many of you in this room, I was affected personally, and someone that I know and care for was affected. And I will share this story only because the person isn't here. But one of my close friends worked at Ground Zero in the aftermath. This person's job was to build the database, the computer database, in order to catalog and identify remains. To this day, he doesn't talk about it at all. The one time that he did speak to me about it was to say, well, Wayne, some years I'm fine on that day. And some years, out of nowhere, I'll find myself in my car, pulled off on the side of the road, crying hysterically. And I think all of us can identify with the shock, the pain, the loss that we all felt. And so we must never, ever forget. But there's something else that we have to remember. We have to remember September 12th, 13th, 14th, 15th, and 16th. Because those were the days that we pulled ourselves together with tear-streaked faces. We wrapped our arms around each other and we stood shoulder to shoulder. We raised our flags and we said, "We are America. You don't beat us. We won't be defeated by this, and we'll come back, and we are one nation, indivisible, under God, with liberty and justice for all." That's who we are. So we have to remember that. And then as we go into this political season, as we race down to the finish, I have really, really good news. That more and more people are starting to remember that this is who we are. That what's going on in our nation is not who we are. It's not what we were meant to be. And they are listening to a new message. And they are responding. And as I walk the streets of the 3rd District, something's happening. People who normally wouldn't be with us are saying, "You know what? Yeah, it's not working. It's really not. We can do better than that." When I say to people, our children deserve more than a food stamp future, they say, "You know what? You're right. You're absolutely right." Because guess what? Everybody in this room who either has children or knows somebody with a child, don't parents want their children to succeed? Yes. That's something that translates all lines, be they racial, ethnic, economical, whatever it is. And I'm happy to tell you that people are remembering how we got this country. Because it wasn't handed to us. We built it. Brick by brick. We built this. And people are starting to remember. And if you want to know how my campaign is going, the best illustration is to share a brief story with you. I was standing in front of the Stop and Shop on Whately Avenue in New Haven. And I'm talking to people. "Hey, how you doing? I'm Wayne. I'm running for Congress here in the 3rd District." And this lady walks out of the store. I handed her my card. She looks at it. She said, "What are you? Republican, Democrat? What is?" And I said, "I'm a Republican. I'm the Republican nominee." And she actually backed up physically as if I had the plague and it was catching. And I said, "Well, wait, hold on a second. Let me talk to you for a minute." And during this brief conversation, which was no more than about 4 minutes, she told me that she was not only a voter, not only a Democrat, but this year she was a delegate for my opponent, Rosa DeLauro. So I'm thinking, oh, hell no. But here's the thing. After that brief conversation, she looked at me, and this is God's honest truth. She leaned over and kind of whispered. She said, "You know what? I'm going to support your ass." Okay? I kid you not. She says, "When they ask me why, I'm going to tell them that, you know what? Nobody should go unchallenged. Nobody should get a free pass." She looked at me, she says, "You're obviously intelligent, and for whatever reason, I can tell that your heart is in what you're doing. So yeah, I'm going to vote for your ass, okay?" Yeah, don't tell me. But folks, that is what's happening. You know, I'm talking to some people, and on paper, a Republican running in the 3rd Congressional District, let's be honest, on paper, it doesn't look too bad. In fact, it looks pretty undoable. All I can tell you is that every once in a while, something comes along that defies the conventional wisdom. I described it this evening earlier to someone as, every once in a while, there's an anomaly. Well, I guess you could describe my candidacy as kind of a political anomaly. We suddenly have a candidate that resonates across party lines to a degree at a time when people are ripe for a new message. It's not all just me. I'm not that wonderful. But it is timing as well. People are tired. People want better for their children. People want better for their country. And ladies and gentlemen, I will not let you down. As your representative, I'm not going to make a whole lot of promises, but I do promise you this. I will respect and uphold the United States Constitution. I will always, always do things that are in the best interest and in the best traditions of the values and principles that built this nation. That I can promise you. And so I'm just going to leave it right there and thank you. Thank you for your support, because yes, we can win this thing, ladies and gentlemen. So, and you were at the vanguard of making it happen. So again, I thank you for your support, your generosity. This, folks, is how we all win with Winsley. When I ask you, what does win with Winsley look like? It looks like this, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.